Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation is Wadhans Mahalla Tija, composition of Guru Amar Das, the third Nanak, in the musical meter Rag Wadhans. We will go verse by verse. The recitation. Pure gur te naam paaya jaay, sacha sabad sach samay. Pure gur te, through an infallible source. Pura is impeccable and infallible, one that cannot go wrong. So pure gur te, only through an infallible source, Naam Paia jaay, can divine wisdom be received. That is the obvious statement here. So you need an infallible source to receive wisdom, divine wisdom, self-knowledge, which is infallible. You need the same kind of source. And then, sacha sabad, sach samay. So the truth is concealed and hidden in the true word, sabad, the sound principle. So the truth, such, is a synonym for Naam in the first line. So what is being said is, you need an infallible source in order to grasp the truth of Naam. And this truth is contained in the sabad. So you now have to understand what the sabad is. We'll get to that. We'll try to understand that. So that truth, that Naam, is concealed. It's contained in Sach Samay, in the true word, Sacha Sabad. So the Sabad is true and Naam is true, truth. So there is a symbiotic relationship between these two terms, between these two ideas. There is an interaction. And then in the Rahau, which is the next verse, the central message is an injunction to the mind. E man naam nidhan tu paaye, apne gur ki man le rajaye. Rahau. E man, O my mind, the treasure, Naam Nidhan, the truth is a treasure. It's referred to as a treasure because it's invaluable. Naam Nidhan tu pai, the treasure of Naam, or self-knowledge, or wisdom, if you will, is yours if only you were to pay heed to the guidance of the Guru. Apne gur ki man le rajaye. Now, apne gur is your Gur. Has, to my mind at least, a dual connotation. Apna means mine, and it can refer to a source outside of you, a personal guide, a personal guru, like the 10 gurus. It also refers to the principle of enlightenment that is within you. You have that mechanism within you to grasp this truth, because if you didn't, then there's no point in going through all of this. Obviously, within us, there is that mechanism, the structure. We possess that structure called the Satgur. So, if only you were to pay heed to the guidance of that Guru. And clearly, many of us need a mentoring in order to grasps the principle within us. So what happens then when you follow the guidance of the Guru? Gur ke sabad, through the word of the Guru or the instruction of the Guru, vichon mail gavaye, nirmal naam vasai mane aaye. That's what happens. Gur ke sabad, vichon mail jaye. Through the Guru's word, through spiritual knowledge, the perversions of the ego are removed. And that impeccable wisdom, Nirmal Naam, is revealed within. So what is the perversion of the ego? It is dubida. Gurbani calls it dubida. Duality. The separation that we feel, which distorts reality even in our perception. So perception determines the quality of your consciousness. And if your perception is wrong, then you're just off. So it really is, broadly speaking, a reference to the ego, because the ego perverts everything. So through the Guru's word, Gur ke sabad vichon mail gavaye, you have to change your perception. You have to reset the filters through which you look at the world. And then, if you do it through the Guru's word, wisdom will be revealed. Because if you recall, Naam is concealed in the Guru's word. Parame pula fire sansar. This follows the second verse. This is the third. Parme pula fire sansar mari janme jam kare khwar. This is the state of the world. Pula fire. So we've talked about the duality of the ego. It afflicts the world. It is, in fact, the principle of creation. It afflicts everyone. The ego, the process of individuation, is given to everyone. That distortion is given to everyone. And that causes beings, creatures like ourselves, to wander in an illusion. That's the example. You're living in an illusion and you don't quite know how to distinguish what is real from what is not real. And then, as a result, they suffer. We all suffer the tyranny of being caught in the cycle of birth and death. Mar janme jam kare khwar. Jam, both death and time. Kare khwar. Tyrannical. It rules us and we are caught. And that's the illusion of birth and death. We don't see the truth of it. And that fear controls us. So in the end, Nanak speaks. Nanak, se vadbhagi, fortunate indeed ave, jine har naam paia, who have turned their attention to Naam, who, in other words, have sought the guidance of the Guru. Gur prasadi mane vasaya. Those who have turned to the sabad through the Gur, the process or the person or the mentor, and absorbed that wisdom, because that wisdom is already there. So we see that in Gurbani, in Gurmat, there is an inextricable relationship. It's symbiotic between what we call the Sabad or Gur ka Sabad and Naam, or the self or wisdom or self-knowledge. So Sabad, as we have seen, has a bipolar connotation. At one end, it is the creator, the word, the unwritten law, the unspoken word, which conceals wisdom or naam or knowledge. And it is too subtle for the physical senses to grasp. Yet, this sound principle, this sabad, is the creator. It is in everything. As a reminder, Guru Nanak responded to the Siddhas when they asked him that question, where is this sabad? And his response was, it abides in us. It is indescribable, yet I find it immanent in everywhere. It's everywhere. It's the creator. So in an individual, that same sabad exists as our own inner voice. And this inner voice is the Guru or the Satguru. And in an individual in whom this voice finds its fullest expression is also called a Guru, is the Satguru, as in Satguru Nanak. And when this Sabad finds expression in text, as in the Guru Granth Sahib, it's called Gurbani, Bani, Guru, Guru hai Bani. So we need to understand that when Sabad is mentioned, there is a spectrum of meaning, and we have to be very careful, because within the same passage, the word Sabad can be used differently. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.